TJ House, the former Cleveland Indians and Toronto Blue Jays pitcher, has been up to a lot lately. Since leaving the league, he's built quite a career in real estate. And now, the former pitcher turned realtor recently revealed his sexuality and came out of the closet. This took some fans by surprise, so stay tuned as we discuss TJ's journey. Let's begin. First up, TJ House comes out as gay. House announced his engagement to his fiancée in his personal Facebook account. He talked about how years of hiding his sexuality behind a professional baseball career had hurt him emotionally. House wrote that he'd had a hard time his entire life feeling comfortable in his own skin, and that he purposely distanced himself from others in an attempt to protect himself. He also stated that it's taken him years to wake up in the morning and tell himself that he's loved for who he is. TJ further went on to say that his job has always been a source of so much admiration and support throughout the player's life. Yet in the end, it was only a bandage on a wound that needs to breathe to recover. Eventually, if you want to improve, you have to tear it off. All these years of silence were caused by the shame he felt, but now he finally feels free, and it's because of love. After the Respect for Marriage Act in Congress was passed, he was overjoyed to announce his engagement and said he's looking forward to spending the rest of his life with his future husband. It was sweet the way he talked about how amazing his fiancée is and how he constantly pushes the former pitcher to keep on improving himself. We're absolutely delighted for both of them. Next, TJ talks about being gay in men's sports. House is allegedly the third person to come out in MLB history after Billy Beane and Glenn Burke. In a post, he revealed that baseball was what kept his inner feelings at bay. At age 23, he was finally living the dream of his life by playing Major League Baseball in Cleveland. He poured his heart and soul into it, and it helped him forget about his problems. The player explained how he enjoyed his time on the field immensely and would do it all over again if given the opportunity. With one big change though. But even with the wealth, status symbols, and material comforts, House still longed to be someone else when he returned home every night. TJ went on to elaborate on the changes that coming out would bring to his life, like how people will tell him that he never really gave them a chance to appreciate him for who he truly is because they didn't know. And it's true, he didn't give many people that chance. He also shared that he sat down in a lot of rooms, listened to a lot of talks, sat in a lot of church pews, and read a lot of postings that made him want to do something different. But it's painful to overhear other people's conversations that are indirectly about you. Now though, he and his husband will have the same liberties and protections as the rest of the population thanks to the new law. And honestly, it's just so heartwarming to know House is finally happy. Moving on to the question on everyone's mind, who's TJ's fiancé? House's fiancé's name is Ryan Neitzel. He was born and raised in Ohio and at the moment lives in Cleveland. Neitzel attended Ohio State's Fisher College of Business to major in accounting. Aside from spending time as a student assistant controller at Ohio State University, he also worked with nonprofits and interning at a Columbus community center. He earned a bachelor's degree in business administration and accounting. Neitzel worked at Ernst & Young in Cleveland as an assurance manager from 2013 to 2020. He's been working for L3 Harris Technologies in Florida as an ICFR risk manager since 2020. Even though TJ didn't come out as gay until this post, he had been with his fiancée for a long time. Ryan has even made multiple appearances on TJ's Instagram. Back in September, he posted a sequence of photographs to Instagram with the word always, a Harry Potter quote, which was followed by Happy 8 turns around the sun. They're honestly so adorable. It's honestly so fulfilling to see House finally come out and be happy. We wish them the best. But House isn't the only athlete who has come out in any sport. Let's take a look at some professional athletes who identify as LGBTQ, starting with Carl Nassib. Carl Nassib, a defensive end for the NFL, came out as gay in a video posted to Instagram in June 2021, the first active NFL player to come out as gay. After struggling with his sexuality for more than 15 years, the player gave more than $100,000 to the Trevor Project, a group that helps keep LGBTQ kids from harming themselves. Nassib started his video by saying that he identified as gay. He said that representation and visibility are so crucial, it can't be stressed enough. He hopes that videos like these and the entire coming out process won't be necessary, but until that day comes, he'll do everything he can to foster and accepting, compassionate community. He's brave for coming out, even though his career could have taken a plunge, but we're glad to see that people are accepting him for who he is. Nassib spent the past 2 seasons with the Raiders before recently signing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the summer of 2022, followed by Luke Prokop. When Luke Prokop came out in 2021, he became the first NHL player to come out as gay. He made the announcement in an Instagram post saying that it's been an amazing journey to get to this point in his life, but he couldn't be happier with his decision to come out. Prokop believes that living his authentic life will allow him to give it his all when entering the rink and improve his chances of fulfilling his lifelong dream. He previously told ESPN that he had a rough season in 2020 and that he decided to come out hoping it would help him play better hockey. We can't even imagine the strength it takes to be able to be vulnerable like that. To top it off, he's not just the first NHL player to come out, he's actually the only NHL player that has ever come out, active or retired. Moving on to Renee Richards. Renee Richards is one of the first transgender athletes in the sport of tennis, but that isn't the only amazing thing about her. She officially transitioned in the 1970s and submitted an entry to the US Open in 1976. Richards flat out refused to take the required bar body test in which her blood would be analyzed to determine her sexuality. The player filed a discrimination lawsuit against the USTA after being turned down for entry to the US Open and ultimately won. Richards left active play in 1981 and is now a respected coach in the industry, but she refuses for the people to put her in the spotlight as a trans activist. In 2019, she shared with Sports Illustrated, saying there's no doubt whatsoever that she was the first one to do this years ago, but now she's not. That's a truckload of badassness right there. We're sure multiple athletes in the industry are grateful to this day for what she did. Next is Michael Sam. Michael Sam came out as gay in an interview with ESPN in 2014. He made history the same year by being picked by the St. Louis Rams as the league's first openly gay player. Sam said at a press conference after he was drafted that he's heard a lot of talk about him being the first openly homosexual football player since his big announcement in February, and he responded by saying that focusing on him is besides the point, and that the focus should be on football as a sport. Ain't he right though? We commend him for coming out when he did, but the public tends to make it into a bigger debacle than it actually is. Another one is Megan Rapinoe. All eyes were on Megan Rapinoe, the squad's standout player and captain, as the United States women's national soccer team won the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup. The athlete became well known after she gave a number of TV interviews in which she spoke out for women's rights and the rights of LGBTQ people. Rapinoe told NBC News in 2019 that she believed female athletes were at the forefront of every protest in general because they're LGBT, they're women of color, and just kind of everything all at once. She said that, sadly, women are always subjected to some form of oppression, and so she believes that just by being athletes at the height of our game, we're protesting in a way, and that's sort of defiant in and of itself. Followed by Ryan Russell. Before becoming a free agent, Ryan Russell was a defensive end for the Dallas Cowboys and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A 2019 essay of his made headlines when he revealed his bisexuality. He began by pointing out that while LGBTQ people are thriving in politics, entertainment, and America's top industries, they're so invisible in professional sports that a gossip writer is doing a favor for a bisexual football player by not exposing the fact that he happens to date guys. No one should rely on favors to make a decent living. Being careful shouldn't mean that you have to change who you really are to fit in. What you value most about yourself shouldn't be determined by what you do for a living. Moving on to Ryan O'Callahan. Ryan O'Callahan spent 6 seasons in the National Football League with the New England Patriots and Kansas City Chiefs. He said that he grew suicidal and addicted to painkillers after retiring in 2011 because he was closeted. He told NBC News in 2019 that his plan from the beginning was to play football and then kill himself. He further added that as a closeted kid, if you hear people talk badly about a gay guy, or worse yet, call him a the experience stays with you, but he later realized that most of their remarks were made out of misunderstanding rather than hate. When the athlete's family welcomed him with open arms after he came out to them, he decided to announce his sexual orientation publicly in 2017. That's a wrap for this video. What are your thoughts on TJ House coming out as gay? Let us know in the comments. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.